Good morning, all of you. So in the previous class, we discussed about uh, script, okay, script structure. Okay. So in the previous class, we discussed about script structure, text of script, right? So in the previous class, we discussed two structures. One example is regarding going to a theater. First example is going to a theater. So I have to write the structure of script for going to a theater. And second example was going to a restaurant. So I have written a script regarding a person going to a restaurant. Now in today's class, we'll discuss another example regarding the structure of script. So that is example is robbery in bank. Okay. So let me share the screen to you. So yes, let's just discuss about two examples regarding the structure of script. So let us discuss one more example regarding the structure of a script. Okay, so the example is robbery in a bank. Robbery in bank. Example is robbery in bank. Okay, so I have to write the structure of a script for robbery in a bank. Okay, so first I have to write the script name. Script name is robbery. Next, so track is successful snatch. That means after robbing in a bank, so the track is here successful snatch. Right, next one, props. The props here are gun, G for gun, L for loot, B for bag, and C for getaway in a car. Okay, these are the props. Next one, roles. Here the roles are robber R, cashier M, bank manager O, policeman P. Okay. Now we write the entry conditions here. Entry conditions are R is poor, R is poor. Next R is destitute. Okay. So that means R. That means only when he wants money, then only a particular person robs the bank, right? So R is poor and R is destitute. Okay. That means he should be poor and he should be destitute. That means uh, has some bad mind. Okay, so R is poor and R is destitute. Next one, next one is the results. So results are R has more money. R has more money. R means whom? Robber. So after doing robbery in a bank, R will get the money. So R has more money. O is angry. O means bank manager. So bank manager is angry. Next, M is in a state of shock. M means who? Cashier. So cashier is in a state of shock. Next one, P is short. Okay, P means policeman. So policeman is short. Okay. So all these are the results. Okay, next one. C number one is getting a gun. So getting a gun. So the in order to do robbery in a bank, has some the robber should have some um, gun. Okay, so in order to uh, do robbery in a bank, you should use some okay gun, right? So getting a gun. So R P trans R into gun shop. That means so R goes to a gun shop and he purchases a gun there, right? So R P trans R into gun shop. Next, R M build R choice of G. That means he is going to select the gun he want. So R M build R choice of G. That means he's going to think or he's going to decide which gun he has to purchase, right? R M build R choice of G. Next. Okay. Next. R M trans choice. That is he decides. Okay. He decides that means the previous thing he decides which gun to select. Now R M trans choice. That means M trans means mental transformation. Okay. That means he's going to tell his choice. He's going to tell his choice. Okay. Next, R A trans buys G. Now, robber is going to buy the gun. Okay. Next one. After that, I have to go to C number two. C number two is C number two is R. C number two is holding up the bank. That means he enters into the bank and he does the robbery. Right. So holding up the bank. Next, so in that, the first thing is R P trans R into bank. That means the robber enters into the bank. Next one, P trans means physical transformation. Physical transformation. Next one, R P trans R into bank. Next, R attend eyes M O and P. R attend eyes M comma O and P. That means so with his eyes he searches for the cashier, bank manager, and policeman. So he's going to search for all these three. It means where is the policeman, where is the bank manager, where is the cashier, all these. So his eyes will search for these three persons. That is cashier, bank manager, and policeman. Right? Next, after he searches for these three persons, he moves to the M position. So M is nothing but cashier. That means in order to do robbery, he needs to go to the place where the cash is. Okay, so R move R. That means R moves to M position. M position is nothing but cashier's position. R move R to M position. Next one, R grasp G. R grasp G. R grasp G means he holds the gun. He holds the gun with his hand. Okay, so R grasp G. Next one, R move G to point to M. That means he will point his gun to the robber is going to point the gun to the cashier. Okay, next one, R M trans give me the money or else to M. Okay, that means he's going to tell the cashier to give him the money or else he's going to kill him like that. Okay, right. So RM trans give me the money or else. Okay, to M. Okay, that means he's going to tell the cashier to give him the money. Okay, next one, R next PM trans hold it hands up to R. Okay, now the policeman who is present in the bank is going to tell the robber to hold your hands up. Okay, right. So PM trans hold it hands up to R. That means the policeman is going to tell the robber to uh, hands up to hands up. Okay, so hold it hands up to R. Next one, R propel shoots G. R propel shoots G. That means he's going to shoot with his gun. Okay, R propel shoots G. Next, P ingest bullet from G. Uh, that means whenever the uh, robber shoots a bullet from his gun, it enters into the body of the policeman. Okay, so P ingest bullet from G. That means from the robber's gun, a bullet enters into the body of policeman. Okay, so whenever the robber fires a bullet from his gun, it enters into the body of the policeman. Okay, so P ingest bullet from G. Next one, M A trans L to M. M A trans L to M. Okay, next one, L is nothing but loot. Okay, so M A trans loot to M. That means he's going to get the cash from the or loot the cash from the cashier. M A trans L to M. Next one. Yeah, so M A trans L to M is nothing but he's going to so the cash from the cashier, the robber is going to loot the money. Okay, so M A trans L to M means from the cashier is going to get the money. Right. Next one. M A trans L puts in bag B. Okay, that means whatever money he has looted, that will be put in the bag B. Next, M P trans exit. Now, cashier So from the cashier, he's going to exit. Okay. MP trans exit. Next one, O A trans raises the alarm. Now the bank man is going to raise the alarm. Okay. Next. Now C number 3. Now go to C number 3. C number 3 is the getaway. So MP trans C. MP trans C means the cashier. So not M here. It is R. It is R here. Okay. So R P turns C. That means the robber is going to get away in a car. Okay. That's it. Okay. So this is regarding the robbery in a bank. Okay. So till now it is in the Saturday's class we discussed about conceptual dependency, and in yesterday's class we discussed about structure of a script. There I had told you two examples. One is watching a movie in a theater, and next second one is ordering food in a restaurant. These are the two examples I had told you in yesterday's class. So in today's class, we had discussed another one more example, that is robbery in a bank. So we have written a script for doing robbery in a bank. Okay, right. Coming to advantages and disadvantages of this particular script. So the advantages here are ability to predict the events. That means like this it is going to happen, like this it is going to happen. So I had to we need that here we have to we get the ability to predict the things that are going to happen. Ability to predict the events. Second advantage here is a single coherent interpretation may be built up from a collection of observations. That means based on the observations we can interpret the or we can build up the uh, structure. Okay, so a single coherent interpretation may be built up from a collection of observations. Next one, coming to disadvantages of this one. So disadvantages are it is less general than frames. It is less general than frames. Okay, that means frames are being extensively used than this particular script. Okay, right. So as it has more, as the frames have more advantages, we're going to use frames more than this particular script. Okay, so it is less general than frames, right? One second. Okay. Okay. So next topic. So next one is so next topic is CYC theory. CYC theory. Okay. So this particular CYC theory is designed for describing the world knowledge or common sense knowledge. So in order to deal with the world knowledge, we use this particular CYC. Right? So I'll share my screen to you. Okay. So next topic is CYC theory. So it is a theory designed for describing the world knowledge or common sense knowledge to the useful in applications. Okay. So in order to represent the or in order to describe the world knowledge or common sense knowledge, we're going to use this particular CYC theory. Okay. So it is more comprehensive, whereas CD is more specific theory for representing events. So CD is more specific and CYC is more comprehensive. Okay. Next, it is invented by Lennart and Guha for capturing the common sense knowledge. So in order to capture the common sense knowledge, we're going to use this CYC theory, and it was invented by Lennart and Guha. So this particular CYC structure contains representation of events, objects, attitudes, space, time, motion, etc., and tends to huge in structure. So it appears huge in structure, and it is also used to represent the events, objects, attitudes, space, time, motion, all these. Okay. Next, so it contains large knowledge base, KB. It contains large knowledge bases, and some of the reasons for large knowledge bases are as follows. So the reasons for having large knowledge bases are: first one is brittleness, second one is form and content, and third one is shared knowledge. So these are three things for having large knowledge bases. One is brittleness, form and content, and shared knowledge. Coming to brittleness, so the specialized knowledge bases are brittle. Okay, that means it is hard to encode new situations and there is degradation in the performance. That means if any new situation happens, so we need to represent that particular situation also in our example. Okay, so specialized database knowledge bases are brittle, and it is hard to encode new situations and there is degradation in the performance. That means if we are unable to encode the new situations, then performance will be degraded. Okay, so common sense based knowledge basis should have a firmer foundation. That means the foundation should be uh, good. Okay, next, second one is form and content. So knowledge representation so far seen may not be sufficient for AI applications. This representing the knowledge is the main goal here. Okay, so whatever representation we are making with the knowledge, or whatever knowledge representation we are making here, it may not be sufficient for artificial intelligence applications, because the main focus of AI applications are comprehension. That means it should be smaller enough. It should be smaller enough. Okay, so common sense strategies could point out where difficulties in content may affect the form and temporarily focus on content and knowledge bases rather than on their form. It means it doesn't depend on the form of the knowledge base, but rather we are going to point on the common sense strategy. Common sense strategy. Okay, right. So if we are unable to cope up with the difficulties in the common sense strategy, it will affect the form. It will affect the knowledge base form. Okay, it will affect the knowledge base form. Next, third one is shared knowledge. So small knowledge base system should allow greater communication among themselves with common bases and assumptions. Okay, whenever we have small knowledge base system, it will work better only. Okay, right? So the small knowledge base system should allow greater communication among themselves with common bases and assumptions. Okay. Next, so when we have large knowledge base, then it will be difficult to cope up with the large number of situations. Okay, so it is a huge task to build such a large knowledge base. There are some methods and languages in AI. Those can be used for acquiring the knowledge automatically. In order to acquire the knowledge automatically, we're going to use some methods and languages in artificial intelligence. Okay. So special language based on frame based system is called as CYCL. That is CYC language. Okay. So using the CYC knowledge is encoded. Okay. That means by encoding the CYC knowledge, we're going to build a special language called as CYC language, CYCL. Right. So this particular CYCL generates the notion of inheritance, so that properties can be inherited along any link rather than only ECN instance. That means along with the ECN instance, we can use some more inheritance concepts here. Okay, using the CYC language, we can use the inheritance concept here, and we can acquire them, or we can inherit the properties using any of the link rather than only ECA and instance. That means along with the ECA and instance, ECA and instance also, we can acquire the knowledge using any link. Okay, or we can inherit the properties using any link. Next, so in addition to frames, CYCL contains a constraint language that allows the expression of arbitrary first order logical expression. That means in order to represent the first order logical expressions, we can use this CYCL language. Okay. So next topic. So next topic is case grammars. Next topic is case grammars. So this particular case grammar theory was proposed by an American linguist called as Charles J. Fillmore. So this was proposed by an American linguist whose name is Charles J. Fillmore in the year 1968 for representing the linguistic knowledge that removed the strong distinction between syntactic and semantic knowledge of a language. Okay, that means it removes the distinction between the syntactic grammar, syntactic knowledge, and semantic knowledge. Okay, so this particular case grammar has 6 cases. Those are called as thematic cases. Thematic cases or roles. Thematic cases or roles. First one is agentive or agent. Second one is objective or object. Instrumental, or third one is instrumental or instrument. Fourth one is deactive. Deactive. So next one, which covers the experiencer. Next one, effective, which covers the result of an action. Next one, locative, that locates an action. So these are the 6 cases or roles. Okay. So the ultimate goal of case grammar theory was to extract the deep meanings of sentences and express in the form of cases mentioned above. Okay, so in order to extract the deep meanings of sentences, we're going to use this we're going to use this case grammar, right? Right, so different meanings would lead to different case structures, but different syntactic structures with same meaning would map to similar structures. Okay, when the cases have different meanings, they would lead to different cases. Okay, but a different syntactic, that means syntax, syntax, if the syntax is same for the structures here, so the syntactic structures, it's same meaning. The syntax is different, but meaning is same. Okay, so then would map to similar structure. That means the structure will be same for the different syntactic structures with same meaning. Okay, next, so for example, the sentences, the door was broken by John with hammer. Next, another case is using hammer, John broke the door. Next one, John broke the door with hammer. Okay, here hammer is an instrument, John is an actor, and door is an object. So all these play the same semantic roles in each of the sentences. That is, all these sentences, it gives the same meaning, but the syntax is different, but the meaning is same. Okay, right? So here the act is of breaking of door. Here the act is breaking of door, and it will have the same case frame. That means this case frame will be same. Okay, the case frame will be same. That means the meaning will be same, but the syntax is different. Next, the case frame contains semantic relation rather than syntactic ones. So the case frame contains semantic relation. Okay. Semantic means nothing but a meaning. Okay. The case frame contains meaningful relation rather than syntactic words. That means the syntax may be different, but the meaning will be same, right? The case frame contains semantic relation rather than syntactic relation. The semantic roles such as agent, action, object, instrument, all these will be extracted from the sentence straight away and stored in the case frame, which represents semantic form of a sentence. Okay. For example, the sentences such as John ate an apple. John ate an apple. Next, an apple was eaten by John. So these two sentences will produce the same meaning, right? And these two sentences will produce the same case frame also. John ate an apple. Next one, an apple was eaten by John. That means these two will have the different syntax, but the meaning is same here. That means the semantic, that means syntax is different, but semantics is same. Semantics is nothing but meaning. Structure is, that means the syntactic representation is different, but the semantic, but the semantics is same. Semantics is nothing but meaning. Meaning is same, but the syntax is different. Okay. Next. So some of the optional cases such as time, beneficiary, from location, that is the source, to location, that is destination, co-agent, tense, all this can be introduced to capture more surface knowledge. Right. So coming to the agent. So agent is nothing but he is the instigator of action. That means he does the action. Instigator of action. Object is nothing but identity on which action is performed. Identity on which the action is performed. For example, the door broke. Here door is the object. Door is the object. That means on which particular thing action is being performed. That is nothing but the object. Next one, dative or deactive. Okay. Okay. So dative. So dative means animate entity affected by the action. Animate entity affected by the action. That means whatever action that is being affected, that will be animated. So animate entity affected by the action. For example, John killed Mike. John killed Mike. So Mike is the dative case here. That means he is affected here. John killed Mike means Mike is affected here. So Mike is the dative case. Okay. Next one. Experiencer. Next one is experiencer. So animate subject in an active sentence with no agent. That means agent will not be there here. But the sentence, but the subject in the active sentence will be animated. So animate subject in an active sentence with no agent. For example, in sentences, John cried, Mike laughs. John cried, Mike laughs. So here, John and Mike will experience the case. That means here, both will experience the thing here. That means here, the Mike and the John, both of them are the experiencers. Okay, that means they are both of them are experiencing. One is laughing and another one is crying. Okay? So John cried, Mike laughs. Here, both of them are experiencing. So I'm experiencing the thing. So both of them will become experiencers. Okay. Next one, beneficiary. Okay. Beneficiary is nothing but animate who has benefited by action. That means whoever gets benefited by the action, he will become the beneficiary. For example, in the sentence, I gave an apple to Mike. I gave an apple to Mike. Here, Mike is the beneficiary. Whereas in I gave an apple to Mike for Mary, I gave an apple to Mike for Mary. I gave an apple to Mike for Mary. Here Mary is the beneficiary and Mike is the dative case. Means the affected person is here, Mike, and the beneficiary case is here, Mary. Okay. Because apple was given by me to Mike, and Mike is giving the apple to Mary. Here, Mike is the relative case, and Mary is the experiencer or beneficiary. Okay. Next. So next one is location. Location. So location is the word place of action. Location is the place of action. For example, the man was killed in garden. The man was killed in garden. So here, garden is the location case. Garden is the location case. Next, another case, another example. John went to school from home. John went to school from home. That means home is the source location case. Next, school is the home is the source location case. That means it's the source. And next, school is the destination location case. So here the source is home and destination is school. Next one, instrument. Instrument is nothing but the entity used for performing an action. That means using which particular thing we are performing the entity, or by using which particular thing we're performing the action. It is nothing but the instrument. Entity used for performing an action. For example, John ate an ice cream with spoon. Here, spoon is the instrument case. Next one, co-agent. Co-agent means in some situations where two people perform some action together. Means it is a situation where two people perform same action or some action together. Then the second person fills up co-agent case. First one will become agent, second one will become co-agent. For example, John and Mike lifted box. John and Mike lifted box, or John lifted box with Mike. Here, John fills the agent case and Mike fills the co-agent case. Okay. Mike is agent and John is agent and Mike is co-agent. Next one, time. So time tells us the time of action. Time of action. That means, for example, John went to market yesterday at 4 o'clock. Here 4 o'clock is the time. Next, tense. Tense means time of event. It is present tense or past tense or future tense. Okay. Now let us generate a case frame for a sentence using case structure. Now using a case structure, let us generate a case frame. For example, John gave an apple to Mike in the kitchen, or Mike was given an apple by John in the kitchen. So John gave an apple to Mike in the kitchen. Okay, now we write the case frame like this. All the cases on one side and all the values on one side. Cases are here, action. Here action is give. Action is give here. Next, agent here is, here the agent is John. Next, objective or object is apple. Here the object is apple. Next one, beneficiary is Mike. As John is giving an apple to Mike, Mike is the beneficiary here. So beneficiary is Mike. Time is past. So give, gave, gave. That means gave an apple means it is past tense. So time is past. Next one, location is kitchen. Okay. So this is an example for sample case frame. Okay. Okay. Next topic is semantic web. So this particular semantic web provides a common framework that allows data and knowledge to be shared and reused across application, enterprise, and community boundaries. So this particular semantic web is a collaborative effort led by W3C, with the participation from a large number of researchers and industrial partners. Okay, semantic web is a common framework that allows the data and knowledge to be shared and reused across applications, enterprises, and community boundaries. In order to share the application, or in order to share and reuse the applications, we use this semantic web that allows the data and knowledge to be shared. Okay, to share the data, or to reuse the application, or to reuse the data and knowledge, we use the semantic web. Okay, so coming to the basic standards, here the basic standards are RDF and OWL. All RDF means Resource Description Framework. It is used to represent the information or data for the purpose of sharing, data sharing or information sharing. Next one, based on XML, that is extensible markup language format. The general purpose specification for building custom markup languages. Okay, one is RDF, second one is XML. Next, next third one is OWL. So it's a language for sharing the vocabularies, sets of terms supporting web searches and other applications. So it is a part of RDF. Okay, so in terms of knowledge representation and reasoning, semantic web lets us. So this particular semantic web is used to represent the knowledge. That is first one. Second one, support the search queries on knowledge and matches. And third one is support inference. Okay. Next, coming to the differences from other knowledge representation systems, the differences here are it has multiple sources of information and knowledge built for potentially different purposes. That is, for different purposes, we use the multiple sources of information and knowledge. Second one is ambiguities may arise. Okay, ambiguities may arise. That means the same term with the two different meanings or two different terms with the same meaning. That means there is a possibility of ambiguity here. Okay. Next, third one is dynamically changing environment. So knowledge is added at fast pace so that it should be robust to handle that. That means in order to add the knowledge very fast, we can use this semantic web. So coming to the advantages or benefits of semantic web, the benefits are here: knowledge integration, knowledge construction and storage, knowledge searching, and knowledge inference. So these are the benefits and advantages of semantic web. Okay? Integrating the knowledge, constructing and storing the knowledge, searching for the knowledge, and inferencing the knowledge. These are the advantages or benefits. Okay. Now let me see how many have attended my class. Okay, today very good number of students have attended my class. So total 69 students have attended my class today. Very good. So by the next class, I think there will be an increase in the number. That is more than 70. So, so with this, stopping my class. We'll discuss the remaining topics in the next class. Okay? Thank you.